and welcome to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network. I'm Kevin Coleman, and now I'm joined by the one and only Donald Eng. Donald, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good, and I'm feeling better now that a certain co-host has clarified blatantly anti-American comments he had made earlier in the day, but I'm feeling better about things now.
We can move past that. But Don,
we're going to say, Kevin had said he does not play fantasy baseball. That's what I was referring to.
We'll catch up with that later. But Don, before we jump into local sports, we have to jump into something nationally. It's Super Bowl week, and since it's a sports show, I thought I'd just jump in and kind of get your thoughts as we get closer and closer to Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, well, despite living in Connecticut, I've never been a Patriots fan, so I'm probably leaning toward. I'd be leaning toward the Atlanta Falcons. The old saw is that defense wins championships. I really don't see any actual statistical justification for that, so I'm gonna take the points and hope for a high-scoring affair.
All right, so if you're picking the Falcons, what's the one thing they need to do to beat the Pats?
What's the one thing you need to do? Let's see. Keep your playbook under lock and key. Make sure everything is secured at all times.
Our director, Eric Gendron, booing that. He's a big Patriots fan. But Don, before we really jump into, we have a great show. We got wrestling. We're going to talk with Bill Bloxham about. We had a great wrestling match last Wednesday. We're going to talk about all the weekend scores that were, from last week. But now we're going to talk about Athlete of the Week winners for Week 3. Let's start with the announcement here. For the Week 3 winners of the winter season, congratulations to Theo Moore of the Darien boys basketball team and Mary Layden of the Stanford West Hill Staples girls ice hockey team. Theo Moore scored 21 points in the Blue Waves' 48-41 victory over the Danbury Hatters last Tuesday at Darien High School. Darien outscored the Hatters 13-0 after the first quarter. The Wave, which defeated Stanford on Friday, has a 6-game winning streak and is 7-3 overall and 6-1 in the FCAC. Layden, a sophomore goalie and first-year starter, stopped 38 of 39 shots in her team's 2-1 triumph over the Richfield Tigers during her second victory and move SWS into a tie for 5th in the FCAC. Congratulations to both athletes, to Theo and Mary. Tremendous performances and very both deserving on the award. Now, Don, let's take a look at the Athlete of the Week nominees for Week 4.
All right, we will start with the girls' nominees. First up, Andrea O'Connor, Stanford basketball. O'Connor delivered a double-double in the Black Knights' 59-50 win over the Greenwich Cardinals Tuesday at Stanford High. The junior led the Knights with 12 points and was also strong on the glass, 10 rebounds. Your next nominee is Taylor Guarino of Fairfield girls ice hockey. She scored a power play goal 29 seconds into overtime to give the Fairfield co-op team a dramatic 3-2 win over New Canaan Thursday at the Darien Ice House. Fairfield had trailed 2-0 in the second period but scored 3 unanswered goals to take the win. Guarino fired her shot through traffic early in the overtime period and the puck found the net. Your next nominee is Bridget Chervell, Danbury Track and Field. She won 3 events as the Hatters claimed the FCAC's Western Division Championship Saturday at Staples High School. A senior, Bridget finished first in the 50-meter hurdles, the 50-meter dash, and the 300-meter dash. Your next nominee is Claire Golbin of Wilton basketball. She averaged nearly 18 points a game, including a career-high 20 points in a 47-36 win over Darien January 24th. She led the Wilton basketball team to 3 wins in the span of 4 days. Last week, the Warriors now have a record of 8-5. During that streak, the Warriors also beat Brookfield 58-42 and Trinity Catholic 59-18. Your final nominee is Ashley Lynch, St. Joseph girls basketball. She scored 12 points in the Cadets' 58-40 win over West Hill High School. She added 5 assists and 4 steals also to fill out her stat line, 3 of her baskets from behind the 3-point arc. So those are your 5 nominees on the girls' side. For the male nominees, we go back to Kevin.
Thank you, Don. For the male nominees, we have Drew Connolly of Wilton boys basketball. Connolly scored a career-high 27 points as the Warriors held off the Darien Blue Wave 59-56 at the Fieldhouse last Tuesday. He scored 13 of those points in the fourth quarter and was 9 of 10 at the free throw line. Connolly's performance helped Wilton overcome injuries to Jack Williams and Matt Cronenberg as they improved to 10-0. Giacomo Brancato from Fairfield Ward Basketball is the next nominee in a 69-46 victory over New Canaan. Brancato became the first Ward player to score 1,000 career points. A senior guard who missed time 2 seasons ago while undergoing treatment for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Brancato finished with 15 points in the win, boosting his career total to 1,012 points. Nico Laveris of Stanford boys basketball is the next nominee. Nico poured in 33 points to lead Stanford to a 78-68 overtime victory over St. Joe's in Trumbull. Laveris made 5 3-pointers and was 6 of 7 from shooting from the foul line. Next nominee is Mike Cece, Greenwich Wrestling. Cece, a senior, picked up the 100th victory of his career during the Cardinals' 42-27 victory over the Ludlow Falcons last Wednesday at Greenwich High School. Wrestling at 160 pounds, Cece pinned Stan Godlewski in 2:55 for the milestone win. Next, and the last nominee for the male side is Christian Campolitaro, Stanford West Hill Ice Hockey. Campolitaro racked up 39 saves to earn a shutout in the Stanford West Hill Co-op's 3-0 win over St. Joe's Saturday at Terry Connors Rink. It was the first victory of the season over a Division I opponent for Stanford West Hill, which has won 5 of its last 6 games to improve to 7-4. Don, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Bill Bloxham. We're going to have an exciting show on the way when we come back here on the HAN Network.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Walter Stewart's Market is your destination for the best big game fixings. From our house-made fresh guacamole and dips to chili, chicken wings, pulled pork potato skins, risotto balls, and take-and-bake house-made specialty pizzas. Combined with a selection of the best craft brews, Stewart's is your one-stop big game shop. Stop into Walter Stewart's Market, conveniently located at 229 Elm Street in New Canaan, or order from our game day menu online at stewartsmarket.com.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Haum has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at StonesThrowCT.com.
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at TrinityCrossFit.com.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN Network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network, and we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network. If you're watching...
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network. Kevin Coleman, Donald Eng with you. Last week on Wednesday afternoon, the HAN Network was live at Danbury High School for our first coverage of wrestling in 2017. In a match featuring two of the top programs in the FCAC, the Danbury Hatters proved why they are not only one of the best in Connecticut, but in all of New England. With a dominating 57-16 win over the Fairfield Ward Mustangs. So we're going to take a look now at the highlights from last Wednesday.
Welcome. Good afternoon and welcome to Danbury High School for the HAN Network's first coverage of wrestling here in 2017.
They're all that. No, they're not. That's why they created the 220-pound class a while ago, and then the upper weights, they limited it at 285, so you didn't just bring a huge guy out. Pin with 19 seconds left in the first period.
It's Ryan's brother Kevin right now wrestling for NC State, having a tremendous season at the collegiate level, but the most decorated wrestler in Danbury history.
Yeah, now you're looking at the banner up there, 170-12 for his career, so you can see.
You don't want to say underrated, but almost underappreciated, the athleticism. As a quick
what it takes.
pin.
You're the defensive guy. You're the less experienced wrestler, and you're doing all you can, and the other guy just makes it look so easy.
And now in trouble here is Zuckerman.
Yeah, it's a match of two very, very, very good, talented sophomores, and there you go, the pin. Now going back to your earlier count towards team scores, so they wrestle everybody else's varsities. There we go.
Saw an escape point quickly there for Dean and Ward as the first point the Mustangs have registered in a
takedown
while.
and a pin with 3 seconds left. Yeah, now
it's a tough one, Bill. We're at the halfway point of the match now. We have seen
more attention from the referee, I would say.
Kane trying to go for the finish here with 5 seconds on the clock. Williams trying to fight it off, but can't do it. A pin for Timmy Kane.
Momentum there. He still has a warning going. Takedown Constantine with 13 seconds left, puts him in the lead at 8-7. He's got to get up and escape. He's got to get up and escape.
He's got 5 seconds to do it as Janai struggling to get up, and what a turnaround comeback. And a well-deserved round of applause for Jake Constantine. That one, 13-1, the final 57-16. Bill, we're going to step aside.
And again, those are the highlights from last Wednesday as the Danbury Hatters beat the Fairfield Ward Mustangs. And Don, it's pretty exciting that, during, the winter, we've got to cover some pretty cool stuff, not just, basketball and hockey. Wrestling is something that I think a lot of viewers would like to see.
It's something that a lot of people are interested in, and when it comes to a sport like basketball, if you go to Trumbull or if you go to Fairfield Ward, you'll watch your team play. People that are really fans of wrestling will tune in to watch wrestling, which is very exciting.
Yes, and there's, someone who knows wrestling very, very well is our very own Bill Bloxam. And Bill, welcome to the show. And first off, you were there. You broadcasted the game last Wednesday. What were your thoughts now, as it's almost a week now since that match?
Hey guys, it's just it just sinks in more how well Danbury is coached by Ricky Shook, and for years and basically generations, everyone has talked about their youth program up there, and if we only had a youth program like they do, we'd catch up. And Fairfield has their Fairfield Pal Wrestling now, and Trumbull with its Southside Wrestling, which helps a lot of the guys out. They've really jumped. They've really moved up, and all three teams are in the top 10 in the state poll, with Danbury number 1. But it still comes down to coaching at this level as well, and having the guys come in prepared to wrestle. Danbury defeated Fairfield Ward. I think there was 10 pins in that in the match overall, and Danbury had 8 of them. And these are quality wrestlers. Danbury's number 1 in the state for a reason, and Ward, I believe, was number 6 coming into that match, and that just kind of shows you the disparity of what's going on up there with Ricky Shook. I mean, the majority of his lineup is still underclassmen, so that bodes well for Danbury maintaining its excellence.
Now, you mentioned head coach Rick Shook of the Danbury Hatters. What makes him such a good wrestling coach? You've been covering him for so long. What are your takeaways from him?
Well, the key is, I think, for any of the wrestling coaches to understand what it takes to be a good wrestler right from the get-go. Shook is a graduate of Danbury High School. Said Derby because it's another great wrestling program. Danbury High School. He graduated in '83, I believe. He was two-time state champion. Went on to Central Connecticut State University, where he wrestled and was a team captain. I believe he went to the All East Regionals and placed for 2 years. Came back, was an assistant. He's done all the things that you need to do, and I think he can, in the wrestling room, he can, obviously demand attention, and once you get on a good roll and you begin a program, the good habits just become, what you do every day, and so you don't have to do as much, not so much teaching, but you can have the wrestlers in the room doing the teaching and coaching with you.
Now, Bill, we had spoken before the match, and we had said that this was probably a match that we were really looking forward to. Ward was really looking forward to testing themselves against Danbury. Were you surprised by the final margin of victory for the Hatters?
Well, I can't say I would have predicted it. With 14 matches, 3 wins for Fairfield Ward, so that's pretty dominant for any team to go against another team and do that. Coach Jason Shaughnessy's Mustangs were missing a couple guys, not a big deal. He didn't use it as an excuse. He said Danbury is the better team, and gave them their due on that. And Ricky Shook, the Danbury coach, came back and said, well, we expect to see more of Ward in the FCX, which we will be covering on the HAN Network this coming 9th and 10th of February. And we're all looking forward to that because although it's team championships and team dominated, it's such an individual sport that, how the draw works, how the seeding works, maybe an upset, you can, progress a little bit better there. But yeah, no, I was surprised. I don't think anyone would predict it as 57-16 final.
Bill, you actually you touched on a follow-up question that I was thinking about. We were talking off the air, that wrestling is strange because it's a team sport, but it's contested between 2 individuals from each team, and yet there is such a thing as kind of momentum, or as these matches are happening. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think I mentioned on the air, and it just worked in Danbury's favor. The draw started with a 220-pound weight class. They just have some very good wrestlers all the way through their lineup, obviously, but they had the edge and experience at the first 3 weight classes. So they got out to 3 quick pins, and then there were a couple even matches in the lower weight classes that could have went either way, even though Danbury had the edge and experience, but Ward also had some ability there, even though they were younger. I think they rolled to 7 straight wins or something like that, and that it takes it away. But in wrestling, once again, it's not such a sport where the score then dictates what goes on. The coaches still coach each individual wrestler, and each individual wrestler goes out there, with a game plan for himself personally. Yeah, it takes away the excitement, it takes away from the fans and maybe the bench area, but each wrestler still goes out there looking to do what he can do over a 6-minute period.
With this Danbury Hatters roster, from top to bottom, who's that one wrestler who really sticks out to you the most?
Well, you have Kyle Fields. He's a defending champion. You got Gabardi. You got, I would say, Andrew Marquis. The guy at 220. He's been there a long time. You got Ben LeBlanc. He's only a sophomore, and he's already placed in states. It just keeps rolling all the way through there. Then you have a Ryan Jack. He pinned his guy in 51 seconds. His brother is probably the most storied guy in Danbury history, and he's just taken up from with the family. So, and that's the other thing. In all wrestling, it becomes a family sport, not only between the wrestlers on the team, but your younger brothers come back out, they see what it's all about, and that's how you continue having a strong program.
And Bill, last question. You look at the standings right now in the FCAC. Is there a team that can stop the Danbury Hatters?
I don't believe so. Danbury, I believe, is coming to Trumbull on Wednesday. It'll be fun to see, but I won't predict a score like that. I think Trumbull might have a little bit more experience all the way through, but they would need a whole lot of guys to do a lot of good things all on the same day. to post a dual meet upset. Come tournament time, things are, all teams are kind of geared towards that. Tournament wrestling is a little bit different. You're coming through a bracket. You have to wrestle 2 or 3 times, in a row, to get to the semis and then the finals. So all the teams are geared towards tournament dual matches. You can have a coach sit a guy because of an injury or a bad shoulder, this and that. So no, but I don't see anyone on the same level as Danbury that I've seen so far.
Bill, thank you very much for coming on. We were excited to see you come tournament time. And, lastly, this is Super Bowl week. Do you have a pick?
New England.
New England?
Yeah.
I don't know. You sound a little hesitant towards that.
I'm hoping for a good game. And once again, I was a New England fan early on because, they were the new upstarts. And now everyone gets a little tired of them. A lot of my friends and neighbors are New England fans. And I'm a New York football Giant fan, so they're not there. Yeah. So, I think I'll just give a nod to the excellence of once again, that type of a program when it comes down from coach to quarterback and how they handle the locker room.
It should be a great game. We're looking forward to it. And Bill, again, thank you for coming on. We're looking forward to the next 2 weeks of wrestling. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it all. We got championship weeks coming up here on HAN for all the sports, and it's going to be a good job teaming up with all you guys.
All right, Bill, thank you. Don and I are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up all the scores from later last week and the weekend right here on Nutmeg Sports.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Start Something New sales event, now through January 31st.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook. Discover a world of wellness in the heart of New Canaan. Halo Studios, New Canaan's first collaborative wellness center, offers you the freedom to choose from the best and latest health, fitness, and wellness options. Inside Halo Studios, you'll find all the wellness experts you need at places like Halo Fitness, Priority Wellness, and Sama Yoga Center. Come by for a free wellness assessment, open 7 days a week at 45 Grove Street. For more information, visit halostudios.com or call 203-594-9909.
Are you ready for winter? Ski and Sport has everything you need to be fully outfitted for the season. A family-owned and operated business with over 40 years of experience, Ski and Sport's 3 convenient locations in Fairfield County offer top-quality, high-fashion ski and winter wear. In addition to clothing for men, women, and children, we also offer seasonal rentals for the entire family. Stop by our stores on 1 Ethan Allen Highway in Richfield, 877 Post Road East in Westport, and at 110 Main Street in New Canaan. Or visit us at skiandsport.net.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune into Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office. I'm John.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network. Kevin Coleman, Donald Eng. Don, before we go into some of the scores, that was a great interview with Bill.
That was, and I was a little bit curious when he had said that bad news for the rest of the FCAC. This Danbury team, in addition to being dominant, is also very young. I counted 39 wrestlers on the roster. 8 seniors. So
so impressive.
It really is. And it's a tradition. It's a program. It's just something. It takes a commitment from the community that this is important to us. And Danbury just has it when it comes to wrestling.
No, I asked Bill, can anyone stop this Hatters team?
Yeah. And he wanted to say yes, but and then said no.
So you don't think so either?
Well, I mean, I've got to defer to Bill here.
Okay.
If he says that he does not think they can be beaten in a dual meet, I'm going to defer to him. Obviously they are the dominant program in the state and really one of the premier ones in New England. So it's a tall task for anyone to take them out in a dual meet.
It is, and they were so impressive. I was there. I was impressed with what I saw. First time really seeing Danbury live, but. Don, let's go over some of the weekend scores that we saw for boys basketball. We'll start things off. The Richfield Tigers defeated Darien Blue Wave 56-53. The Ludlow Falcons defeated the New Canaan Rams 41-35. Greenwich Cardinals took down the Norwalk Bears 78-61. Ward took down Danbury 70-56. Trinity Catholic with the upset of last weekend. It was Trinity Catholic 69, Wilton 55. Wilton suffers their first loss. And Don, we got to touch upon this. Wilton losing their first game. This is a team that looks so strong to start the year off. Two, tough injuries with Cronenberg and Williams out. Does this impact the Warriors?
Well, I don't really think so. I mean, of course, any injury can impact you if it's a long-term injury. But if it's just sitting for a game or two, then I wouldn't really worry too much about it. I mean, is there a measurable difference between finishing 17-3 versus 19-1? I don't think so. Especially with tournaments with a tournament format at the end of the year. So I'm not really worried about Wilton.
And we saw them play Ward. That was a great game to watch. Both teams so evenly matched. Wilton, escaped with the win at home. Is there another team we're looking at? There's Trumbull, there's Danbury. Again, Ward, they could see each other. They beat Darien, which was a close game. Is there a team out there that could, again, surprise Wilton and beat them?
Well, I mean, I would probably lean toward Trumbull. I just think that Trumbull can create some matchup problems with their size that Wilton could have trouble with. But certainly, I think Wilton is probably would be favored over any other team in the FSAC at this point.
It's going to be a fun finish to see how these teams finish off, especially with Wilton. We'll keep you posted on those two injuries as well with Cronenberg and Jack Williams. To continue on, Brian McMahon defeated Staples 61-48. Central, in an exciting game against Harding in overtime, beat Harding 73-72 in a heartbreaker for Harding. For Stanford, again, another OT winner for them against St. Joe's 78-68. And lastly, Trumbull taking down West Hill 64-46 over West Hill. And Don, I'll let you read through the girls' scores.
All right. Well, the girls' scores from over the weekend: Staples 50-30 over Brian McMahon. Norwalk 54, Greenwich 46. Wilton all over Trinity Catholic 59-18. Ward beats Danbury 44-32. Ridgefield 57-39 win over Darien. Ludlow beat New Canaan 37-27. Trumbull 49-21 over West Hill. And finally, it was Stanford, the Black Knights, beating St. Joe's 65-44.
And in boys hockey, it was Notre Dame West Haven blanking the Greenwich Cardinals 5-0. Darien Blue Wave took down the Trumbull Eagles 6-4. Stanford West Hill blanked St. Joe's 3-0. And the Richfield Tigers took down rival Wilton Warriors 7-0. New Canaan 6, Staples Weston Shelton 1. And Fairfield in a dominant win 11-2 over Trinity. And Don, I'll let you read off the girls' hockey scores.
You're right. Only 2 games over the weekend for the girls. In the first, Greenwich shuts out Stanford West Hill Staples 8-0. And then, of course, the one we mentioned earlier in the show, Fairfield with a 3-2 overtime win over New Canaan. So those were your 2 games on the girls' side.
Well, Don, I think everyone can agree with us that this is going to be an exciting finish for the winter season. Is there a special team out there in a sport that you like?
Well, I do like, I am a fan of high school sports around the region. What I'm looking forward to actually is I am looking forward to the cheerleading championships that we covered last year. We'll be covering them again this year. If you've never been to one of those, it's a lot of fun. It really is.
I'm looking forward to that. I know the whole crew is excited to do that. Saturday morning, we're looking forward to it at the field house. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the cheerleading competitions?
Well, I mean, it's just that each team has their time on the mat, and they do their they do. It's a combination of tumbling and dance routine interspersed with the actual cheering and crowd engagement, and it's judged by based on like difficulty of the tumbling and the dance numbers. So it's a lot of fun. It's very high energy, very entertaining, and it's real. And these girls get really psyched for this kind of performance. It's something that when you just watch that 5-minute performance on the mat, what you're seeing is just months of work that went into it. So it's really remarkable to watch.
I'm very excited to see it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget that coming up this week, the HAN Network's championship season coverage begins starting Thursday afternoon at 4:30 when we'll bring you live coverage of the 2017 FCIAC Indoor Track and Field Championships. And tomorrow, Nutmeg will be live at 3 o'clock at Greenwich, as we're going to see some boys hockey tomorrow at Greenwich. Saturday morning at 10 a.m., our championship coverage will continue from Wilton's Fieldhouse with the 2017 Cheerleading Championship. And Don, that'll do it for today's episode of Nutmeg Sports.
All right, thanks a lot.
Of course. Well, don't forget tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Nutmeg Sports. Have a good Monday, everyone.